This week on the Box2Box podcast, we finally have everyone back together again. The lads talk in depth about the last weekend just gone. Finally give Arsenal a little bit of praise. As well as that, talk once again about Ollie out. Onto the podcast we go. Hello, and welcome to the 11th episode of the Box2Box podcast. If you haven't been able to watch last week's episode, we were a man light, but myself and Gase made episode 10. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, go back and watch it now. This week, we've got the full team back together, joined by Gase. How's it going, mate?
How are we doing? We're a trio again.
We are a trio. Yeah, good, thanks, mate. Yourself?
Not too bad, mate, not too bad.
Sound. And Reza, how you doing, mate?
I'm all right, all things considered.
Good. Right, so should we get cracking?
I'll go on to it later.
He's calm at the moment. Right, so we'll start off with the episode then. So we started the first game of last weekend, which was Leicester Arsenal. Who wants to go first? Gase?
Nah, Rez was away. Rez start off.
Rez? Alright, sound. Go on, Reza, you start first, mate. What do you think of the Leicester Arsenal game?
Surprised? Well, no, actually, no. We edit that out. Look, Arsenal building up with some momentum. I don't know whether I think it's too early to say that Arteta's methods are starting to work and the penny's starting to finally drop. Listen, Arsenal got some really good players, what it's worth, in that team.
Edit that out as well.
Yeah. No, they have, and Aubameyang is scoring goals again. Partey's looking pretty good. Smith Rowe's excellent. They're starting to resemble a team, and I'll be honest, I'm slightly nervous moving forward. But as for the game itself, Leicester are really poor. I've heard a few people talk about Brendan Rodgers for Man United.
Who the fuck is saying
next
that?
manager. I can't say I can't see it. I don't want it.
I don't want it either.
That Leicester team is excellent. Their midfield is superb, and they're just I don't know what's going on with them. But I mean, their form is better than ours. However, they still find themselves down there in 11th.
I think their peak's better than ours as well, though, isn't it? I think the peak of their performances, like previous seasons, I think is better than we've been, even though we've been higher in the table.
I think I'd agree with that. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. So, no, as a result, I was somewhat surprised. I would have called a draw on that game for what it's worth if I'd been on last week. But yeah, kudos to Arsenal. I'll say they're starting to build momentum. Unbeaten in 5 games now. Unbeaten in their last 5. 3 wins, couple of draws in there. They're doing well, and say they're starting to look like they're starting to resemble a team. Say it is nerve-wracking, slightly nervous.
Do you not feel that Leicester could have had a few though?
Yeah.
I'm watching it. I thought they had quite a few good chances.
They had chances, but listen, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. If you don't put the ball in the back of the net, chances are irrelevant. The fact of the matter is, they were soundly beaten in the end. I felt Arsenal looked good over most of the pitch. Leicester, I mean, if you speak to their fans, maybe they think they've been quite unlucky so far this season. I don't really agree. I just don't think they're particularly that good. Obviously, there was the big save from Ramsdale, right? Absolutely massive save from him. And yeah, spoiler alert, he's my goalkeeper.
It says something when you win when you win 2-0 and your goalkeeper gets man of the match.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're United fans, so we know a lot about that. So I don't want to start throwing shade at Arsenal because of that. I think you just got to give them some credit. They played well. Leicester were fairly poor, but no, well played to Arsenal. Maybe 2-0 flattered them somewhat, but I thought they deserved to win. Yeah, I'd say they deserve to win. I think they're doing quite well at the moment.
Fair enough. Gase, anything more to add?
Yeah, I mean, Arsenal for the first 20 minutes looked really good. And I don't know why they do it, but I felt like they took off, as soon as they scored that second goal, they took off the pedal a little bit. I don't know if they got excited, because obviously they're like, shit, we're 2-0 up, we've done it. And then they started to slow down a little bit, and then Leicester came into the game a bit. But no, I agree. I thought Leicester at the back are atrocious, right? Up top when Vardy's playing, I don't think he wasn't playing to this game, was he? Was he up top? No, he was up top.
No, he did play, yeah.
But like when Vardy's firing and their midfield's good, they're a really good team. But at the back, they're a shambles at the moment, and it can't be just because of Fofana. I don't know what's going on. But Arsenal, good goals, solid, and Aaron Ramsdale. Well, I mean, not just what a keeper, mate. His distribution is insane.
Yeah, no. To be fair,
Some of the I don't know. He's like distribution wise, he's really really good. So no, well done to Arsenal, mate. You're hitting your form, you're hitting your stride.
yeah, it shows how different a month can go though. Because go back a month ago, everyone was calling for Arteta to be sacked. Said that they're Arsenal shit, and then month into the future, they're unbeaten in 5, level on points with us.
What are you trying to say, Tam?
We're fucking shit.
What are you getting at, Tam? You saying managers need time, Tam?
I'm not saying managers need time.
Uh,
I'm saying that how
listen,
different a month can make.
I need to interject here. One thing I would say about Arteta, it was plainly obvious what he was trying to do with this team. They were just shockingly bad at the back and in midfield. But you could see, right? I mean, you saw it, the game against United. Let's go back to November last year. So literally 12 months ago when they beat us 1-0. I think it was a Aubameyang penalty, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You could see what he was trying to do. It's very pragmatic. It's not pretty. I mean, you look at the stats from this game. I don't think they had much possession, Arsenal. Let me just have a look. I'm just pulling it up now. 35%.
Yeah.
So you can see what they're trying to do. What I would say is the difference between Arteta and Ollie is at least you could see what Arteta was trying to achieve. I cannot see what Ollie Solskjaer is trying to achieve with this team. He doesn't seem to be able to make his mind up either, because obviously we'll get onto the Spurs game, but we went for a completely different approach against Spurs. But then he was like, oh, I think I found my golden formula. And he tries it last night, and quite frankly, we should have been beaten.
100%.
So
he got saved by his Michael Jordan, as he said himself.
Yeah, and it's a joke. But anyways, we're not here to talk about United yet.
Every match is referenced back to United. Every single one.
Yeah. What about you, Tam, the Leicester game?
I don't know what to say about it really. I thought Leicester probably could have or should have had something out of it, but the most important thing in football is putting the ball in the back of the net, and if you don't do it, you can't claim that you should have had anything out of the game. Like I say, on another day could have been, but it wasn't another day, so it didn't happen. It's basically all I'd say about the game. It's one of the games of the whole weekend where the stats didn't really tell the picture of the game properly. The stats you'd think Leicester dominated completely and it was all over, but it wasn't the case. But yeah,
no, they held a lot of the ball, and they try. I mean, they're not as bad as Tottenham. Don't get me wrong. Tottenham are like the worst team I've ever seen. I think they're worse than Norwich.
I thought we were in the mud. Jesus.
But I think Leicester do similar things where they try and pass it around, they keep possession, but they don't really do much with it in the final
third. It sort of
third.
reminds me of Arsenal about 5 years ago. where they just used to pass the ball into the back of the net and not actually score a goal. You think like, surely you just want to score. Not every goal needs to be pretty and unbelievable. Just put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah.
They just keep the ball. But yeah, that's that game anyway.
Leicester Arsenal, yeah.
Yeah, so move on to the next one. Burnley Brentford. Come on, guys.
Good game. Burnley looked good.
Yeah.
Genuinely, but like, it was weird. I don't understand. I think even Sean Dyche said it after the game as well. He says, obviously, like, it's been there. Like, their form has been there. They just can't. They haven't been firing. It doesn't make, because they've looked okay in some games, but in stints. This game, I thought they looked really good. Brentford, I don't know if Burnley were just good, so Brentford looked a bit off it, or Brentford were just off it, and that helped out Burnley a bit. I mean, if you look at the stat-wise, it looks relatively even, but if you watch the highlights, I think Burnley did have the upper hand 100% in the game.
I think they probably had the better chances.
Yeah, 100% better chances. They put their chances away at the end of the day. I think Brentford got stuck under the whole situation of holding the ball and not doing much with it again. Like, it seems to be a trend this year with Premier League teams. Keep the possession, don't do much with it. So, but no, good on Burnley. Just, yeah, well played. Cornet's goal again. Cornet just seems to be scoring every week. And he scores bangers every week. So, yeah.
No, he's
well
played
played.
quite well for him. Reza, what did you think of the game?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll just echo that. A really good result, really good performance from Burnley. Somewhat surprised because obviously that's their first win, I believe, so far this season. Yeah, it is. So, yeah, that's somewhat surprising result, I think, considering obviously Brentford's form. But I think that it was probably just a style thing. I think obviously Burnley are very physical, and don't take anything away from them because actually they scored some really good goals, Burnley. But yeah, it was decent performance all round. A little bit surprised. I thought Brentford would offer a bit more and get at them a bit more, but they didn't. Yeah.
It's the first
Again,
time.
I mean, obviously putting chances away as well. We spoke about it. Obviously, the Leicester Arsenal game. It's about putting chances away. Obviously, Brentford did have some chances, and Burnley put them away. And say fair play to them, considering the form they'd been in and the fact they haven't won a game this season.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it's the first time Brentford have come up against someone that's anti-football, that won't play the nice. Brentford have played teams pretty much so far this year that will play football, so they can just play football against them. Whereas Burnley, not going to happen against Burnley. They'll do all the
No, I think that's fair.
they do the dirty yards, the dirty side of football that people don't normally see. Very physical team. Don't mind getting dirty, as it were to say.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and just to mention to the Brentford goal as well, it was really good technique.
Yeah,
like,
no, definitely.
Scissor finish.
Yeah, no, that's really good. I couldn't believe it. He pulled it out of the bag when watching the highlights back. I was like, Jesus Christ. Was that one for the cameras?
Yeah, it's it was a really, really good goal. Solid, good goal. Just mega technique.
Sound. I think that covers the Brentford game. We'll move on to Liverpool Brighton.
Take it away, mate. You like both teams, so go for it.
I'll take it away. No, watching this game, I was listening to this game. My dad was listening to this game. I was with my dad, and Liverpool went 2-0 up, and I thought, hey, this is going to be 5, 6, 7, 8-0. I thought this was going to be an absolute hammering in the end. And then Graham Potter does what all good managers do, tweaks a couple of little things, and they got back in it. Lamptey was tearing Robertson the new arsehole, which was quite nice to see. You hate Robertson, fucking bellend. So anyway, yes, yeah, he tore him a new arsehole. And Wepu, whatever the heck his name is, was very good in the centre of midfield, guys. Centre of midfield.
Yeah, that goal was
very good.
That goal was impressive as well.
Was very good. I thought Brighton actually played quite well. I thought you sort of got to give it to him, really. I don't think you can to go to probably you could argue the on-form team after just smashing us 5-0. And they weren't scared, took it to them, played their football the way they play, and probably, to be fair, if you actually watched the game back properly, probably could have deserved to win it. And what do you guys think?
I wouldn't go that far.
No?
I mean, Liverpool did have 2 goals disallowed.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, because with the Brighton goal at the end, was it offside? What happened? Brighton scored right at the end, didn't they? Or was
Yeah.
it like it was a stupid chance?
Yeah.
No, it was literally absolute dominant Liverpool until the 41st minute when Wepo scored. Liverpool was shitting on them. They should have scored more, and if they had scored more, I think even Graham Potter said it in his after-match interview. He said if they had gone 3-0 up, then it would have been like a save face type situation. He would have had to change it up to be more defensive to stop them going 6-7-0 up. But Brighton come out and he gets that mad goal, and then all of a sudden the game completely changes and it flips over, and then Brighton played really well in the second half. I mean, they could have nicked it, I suppose, but Liverpool should have put it to bed early. But no, good on Brighton. They're playing good football. Tactically, they got a good manager. So, yeah, well done.
Reza?
Yeah, listen, I saw the score at 2-0, and honestly, I was like, yeah, they're cruising. Watching the highlights, Brighton are impressive, really impressive, and it pains me to say this. I wouldn't let your dad hear me saying this, but they're really good to watch. They play football. Tactically, very good. And the thing they do, they don't stop playing their football. It doesn't matter who they play against. It's like, this is our style. This is how we play football. We don't care who you are. We worry about ourselves. And there's something to be said for that. And obviously, they'll lose games. Listen, City do it, right? City play their football. You worry about yourselves. We'll worry about ourselves. And they will come up against teams like Spurs and United who will play on the counter-attack and beat them. And it will happen. But over the course of a 38-game season, more often than not, they'll come out on top. And I say, you've got to give massive credit to Brighton. Listen, Potter's a fantastic manager. And for me, he'd be the one that I'd be looking at if I were part of the United board. And I know that obviously there'll be question marks about whether the club's too big, but at some point, these managers have got to make the step up. Why not now?
Tactically,
I think he's fantastic.
Oh, tactically.
Tactically is going to be it's night and day.
It's not even, yeah, literally. Chalk and cheese, night and day, whatever you want to say, however you want to put it, it's literally clueless versus clued. Like, he's clued up. Potter knows how he wants to play. The team play. They've built a good team there as well.
Yeah.
And again, it's not expensively assembled. They don't have superstars other than Bassoon. Bassoon was obviously their superstar, right? But he wasn't a superstar before he went to Brighton. And yeah, really, really impressive. Liverpool would probably look back on this and think, how? To be fair, though, 2-0 up at home, cruising, Klopp will be pissed.
They hit the post a couple of times, disallowed goal, and then all of a sudden the game turns on its head.
Absolutely fuming.
Yeah, and obviously a couple of disallowed goals as well. But that being said, you look at the stats; they had 3 shots on target.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that means they must be shooting from distance or horrible scuffs from inside the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that covers that game, to be fair. City Palace.
Indeed.
City Palace, who wants it? I think Reza, go with you, pal. Reza?
I'll let you guys go first.
Gase, go on then, mate. I'll let you go first. You're a City fan.
Yeah, mate. Love them. Yeah, Manchester is blue, apparently, according to this dickhead that runs it. Anyway, no, I just thought Palace, the thing is, Palace are a unit, right? I thought they looked very, very good. City should have got more out of the game, I'm not going to lie. Even with 10 men, they were still pretty controlling and on top. They had a lot of chances. Really poor defending from City, though, when they put Zaha through on goal initially, which set the pace of the game. But I think the way that not only Palace are starting to attack quite well, their defence is solid. They defend as a whole, like I said, a whole unit, a whole team. All of their players get behind the ball. They defend in a pack, and they're really hard to break down. City struggled to break them down, but they did have quite a fair share of chances, even with Laporte off the pitch. But no, good on Palace. They're actually playing some really good football under Vieira, who I know you two said would be sacked by now. How wrong could you be? Anyway, no, good on Palace. City had a good 3 chances, which they probably should have put away.
You think
Again,
if City had signed Harry Kane, they win this game?
Yeah, 100%. I was just about to say they lack a striker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, Palace were really impressive, and I think Zaha said it at the end of the game post-match interview that everything's kind of coming together for them, all aspects of their play. And he said they always had good individual players, but now you're starting to see them really come together. Obviously, I've been really impressed. Vieira's done an amazing job so far. Amazing job. Was it a sending off for you guys?
Hard to
Because
say
I'll be honest, I've watched it a few times.
Yeah.
And I can't decide. I can see why it's been given, but also I can't. They've obviously gone, last man, right? Goal scoring opportunity, but it was quite far out, and I don't know who it was. I don't know who it was on the as you look at it on the right hand side of Laporte. Who it was who was running back as well.
Cancelo,
I think
Cancelo, yeah.
Well, yeah, I think it's difficult to say that he was the last man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a clear goal scoring opportunity.
I can't remember what game
because
it was.
There was quite a distance.
There was another game later on that had an exact same situation, and there was no sending off. And that's why they've brought up I can't remember what game it was. And it's brought up the whole discussion of the inconsistency, right? Because one ref thinks, that's a red card. The other ref's like, that's not a red card. So it's really difficult to say when the refs don't even know what to do, you know? So.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously with the inconsistency, do you think the VAR causes a bigger problem when it comes to this kind of thing? I guess what I'm trying to say is.
But surely VAR should.
Of overturning it.
Surely they should make a decision in both of them.
VAR is there for clear and obvious mistakes, right? So obviously VAR would look at an incident like this and go, well, is there a clear and obvious mistake from the referee? No, we've just said it's difficult to say whether that's a sending off or not. So therefore, VAR is absolutely correct in not getting involved, really, and just going to the ref, it's your call, and sticking with the ref's decision at that moment in time, because the ref saw it in real time, right? So I prefer it in many ways, the fact that it's gone to this clear and obvious error, because that's the last year it was so messy, wasn't it? There were at times it was just a joke, VAR. Whereas now, obviously, City fans will look at that and go, it's not sending off, and I can understand that. I think it's harsh. But in the terms of VAR looking at it, I can see why they wouldn't overturn it, because it's not clear and obvious error.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then obviously that's So VAR giving the power to the referees, but then there's still the inconsistency between the referees, which causes an issue. Because like we saw, one game gave it one.
Oh yeah, but that's going to happen. It's human beings making decisions, right? I mean, we all see things differently. Look at Armir. Fuck me.
No, I get what you're saying. If it goes up to VAR, though, VAR's got to make the decision then. The VAR's got to say what is right and what is wrong in that situation.
That's what I was going to say. It should be
I think if the ref turns around to VAR and goes, I don't know what to do here, I don't know what to give, can you have a look at it? Then absolutely. However, if the ref's gone, no, that's a red card, and VAR's gone, okay, well, we'll just have a look at that, and they've then gone away and had a look at it and gone, Well, yeah, like we have. Well, yeah, we can see how you've given a red card. They're not going to overturn it, which is right. They shouldn't overturn it because ultimately the referee's on the pitch for a reason. Otherwise, why have the referee in the first place?
No, I see what you mean. I just think maybe a bit more of a across the board. Otherwise, you just you depends on what referee you're gonna you're gonna get one ref one day
Oh
and you
no,
go,
it
oh
does.
for fuck's
Listen,
sake, get this ref again.
the quality of officiating in the Premier League for the best league in the world is not up to scratch. And behind closed doors, I'm pretty sure that the Premier League and the FA are all looking at this and trying to work on it, trying to figure out a way to get better, right? And I don't think you, when you look at European Championships, World Cup, so the European Championship and the World Cup, you see how infrequently England has a referee in the semi-finals and finals, considering we've got the biggest league in the world.
With the most
And that
money.
says a lot.
Yeah. I know what you mean. It could even like turns out Champions League final. Like,
Yeah,
I know obviously
exactly.
English teams have got there recently, so you can't have an English ref if there's an English team there. But when there hasn't been English teams in there, you haven't seen an English referee.
No, no, I
Got a
think
few of like the Howard
Clattenburg was
Webbs and
probably
that,
the last
but
one, wasn't he?
Clattenburg, Howard
Yeah.
Webb.
Yeah, I mean, Clattenburg wasn't even that good. Obviously, Howard Webb, you've seen Howard Webb in his Man United shirt. Obviously, I'm joking, but obviously those were the images doing the rounds, weren't they? But Clattenburg wasn't even that good, and obviously, then he went to Saudi Arabia, didn't he?
Yeah.
But outside of that, I mean, we're still having to deal with the people like Mike Dean and Andre Mariner. You're like, fucking hell. Like, Mike Dean thinks it's his stage. It's like, this is my time. It does need to be addressed, but what I'm saying is, in the context of it, I think VAR was right to not overturn that red card because the referee had made a decision, and for me, it's not a clear and obvious error because us three can't decide whether that was a red card or not.
Yeah. All right, Sam. We'll move away from that one then. That's the.
Just a quick one.
Go on.
Sky Sports have just announced that Varane is ruled out for a month with a hamstring injury.
Fantastic.
Love it. Absolutely. Just the news we wanted to hear. Right?
Ollie's getting sacked in the morning.
In the mud.
He'll be sacked on
We're
Sunday.
in the mud. Nah. We're in the mud.
Bloody hell. Yeah, anyway, Newcastle, Chelsea.
I'll let you go first, Case, mate, as soon as you said it.
Yeah. Good game. Chelsea dominated, as they do, especially against the smaller teams. Chelsea dominated start to finish. Newcastle had some chances, but I thought it was just pretty dominant from Chelsea. They pinned them in. And you know what's weird, right? You look at this 3-5-2/5 at the back formation, where teams like us sit and protect our box. Chelsea's fullback or wing-backs are pretty much on the 18-yard box of the opposition team. They push them back, they push forward as much as they can.
Yeah, but Reece James versus Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. And obviously Chilwell and Reece James, bloody hell. What a game he had, unreal. 2 goals. He's sensational, to be fair. I think he's one of the best right backs in the world at this current moment. Especially in the way they're playing him. Gives him obviously a lot more freedom to go forward, but he still has to do defensive duties. But no, Chelsea all round, top quality.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything that you can really argue with there. I think that's
No, I don't think there's much else
everything
to say.
you said is
Chelsea,
basically where they were.
Yeah, Chelsea looked really good. They haven't looked that good recently. I was just talking to a friend of mine. He's a Chelsea fan, and I said that I haven't been overly impressed with them in a lot of games. Like, they are scraping wins. Obviously, this isn't one of them. But that's obviously how you win titles. I mean, he's pretty adamant they're not winning the league. But in terms of this game, it was just utter domination. Newcastle offered nothing at all. And it must be quite funny. I mean, I do wonder what these new owners are thinking watching these games, because they are a million miles away. And we've seen with United, throwing money at it doesn't solve it.
Yeah. Well,
Oh.
me and Tam mentioned, because they kept panning the camera in the game. They kept panning the camera to one of the owners. And he didn't look best pleased. I can't imagine you would getting smashed every week you go to it. I mean, you can't expect much against Chelsea, but still. The problem is, like we were saying, is Unai Emery has come out and said, like on the news, and said that he's not going to take the job. And it's a really, really difficult job to take, because you think they are in the mud. They're in the relegation bout. You've got to ready yourself for the possibility of maybe even being the wealthiest championship team of all time.
Can't wait to go
But
Rotherham
like,
away.
what sort of manager wants to take on that chance? And then
Oh no, 100%, mate. They're going to end up with someone like Eddie Howe. I think that's where they're going to end up. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that as a bad thing, as a negative against Eddie Howe, because I thought he did some good stuff at Bournemouth. But that's where they're going to end up. What I would say, I think I said it a few weeks ago, when you look at City, when the dirty oil money came in, they had Mark Hughes. So yeah. I don't understand the logic of sacking Steve Bruce now. City didn't sack Mark Hughes immediately. What they did was they threw loads of money at loads of players, mercenary players, like fucking the likes of Adebayor or Robinho, right? Players who had no loyalty to anyone or anything other than themselves.
Uh-huh.
And that's what Newcastle are going to have to do. There's going to be some short-term pain. They're going to have to throw money at it, sign these players who aren't great, decent players, but not fantastic, not the best, on really high salaries. It doesn't really matter who the manager is, because they're not getting a manager who's going to have that draw. They're not going to get it because, like you say, the fact of the matter is there's every chance they get relegated this year.
Yeah.
Now, unless they go down the route of a Sam Allardyce in the hope that he saves them from relegation, and then they go in the summer, maybe that's what they think they might do. I don't know. It'll be really interesting to see how this all pans out. But looking at it now, I think, someone like Eddie Howe is probably where they'll end up.
That's why it's difficult, right? Because obviously we talk about experience, and managers don't tend to have experience at the lower end of the table. Steve Bruce does, right? He knows how to fight a relegation bout. Though they didn't get the results they wanted, he has experience of being down in the dumps, right at the bottom, and needing to fight for their life to survive. So I agree. I think it was a weird.
I still don't get why the fans didn't like him as much as they love Rafa. It don't make any sense to me that when he's got a better win rate than what Rafa had, the players clearly liked him. Like even St. Max came out and defended him, and St. Max is their best player by a long country mile.
I think St. Max is the reason they did win some.
And he come out and defended him, saying he's the nicest man in football. He does this and that. He's unbelievable. And
a nice man
they've hated him when he had nothing whatsoever to spend, and he's done everything he possibly could to try and keep them up, keep them in the league, and they hated him. Yet Rafa, they absolutely loved, and I mean, I don't really rate Rafa as a manager that much, so
it's the name though, right? And I think that's where Newcastle fans got caught up. It's the name, right? At the end of the day, Steve Bruce is a Man United legend, right? Rafa Benitez had a name. He managed Real Madrid. He managed Liverpool. He won a Champions League. Like, it was a name. And yeah, that was it, I think.
Yeah, I just don't get it personally. He's a very poor manager in my eyes, and they loved him but hated someone that was better. Just sit there and say you deserve what you get, really, at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, you reap what you sow.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Deserve what you get at the end of the day.
I don't know if the nice guy approach is the greatest way to be either, to be fair. You look at Ollie, like, not challenging the status quo, being a nice guy about everything, letting the players, if the players have fucked up, taking a nice approach to it. I don't know. Maybe they were more receptive, even though their record wasn't as good under Rafa. Maybe they were more receptive to someone giving them a kick up the arse as opposed to, yeah, you'll do better next time. Yeah, it is. Yeah, don't know.
Yeah, well. Move on from that game. Pretty much covered that. So Watford, Southampton. Reza, do you want to go first? Take that as a no.
Well, I was on mute. Sorry. No, I'll go. Southampton scored with their one shot on target. I've been quite a big fan of Southampton so far this season. I think they've done really well. I think Watford will probably look back and think that was slightly harsh. Say they scored with their only shot on target, Southampton. I thought it was a fairly even game, not outstanding. No one really stood out, I didn't feel. But yeah, Southampton got the goal that mattered, and that's that really.
I think once again it was another typical game where if what's his name for thingy? Who plays for Villa now? It's not Danny Ings. If Danny Ings is playing in this match, they win 2 or 3-0. They created the chances, they just didn't target.
No, I thought Southampton were on top. To be fair, Watford had their stints, but Southampton, I think the stats lie a little bit if you watch the actual game.
Yeah.
I thought Southampton had a lot better chances, they just didn't. And then fucking Che Adams' goal, Jesus.
Yeah.
That was an absolute banger.
Belter.
It was a good goal. But yeah, it was alright.
Oh, have we done this on purpose just to skip past this one? So we go to the last game on the Saturday. Is that the reason why?
I go to the next. Even though we won 3-0, you know what I mean? I'm not really bothered, but go on.
Go on with what?
Go on, mate, you go on. Talk about it. Spurs United, take us away, Tan.
Ronaldo has once again saved Ollie.
At Varane.
I genuinely think at this rate, Ollie probably sits at the end of Ronaldo's bed. If Ronaldo moves an inch, do you need anything? Do you need anything? I don't quite get why we've gone with 7 defensive players against arguably the worst team in Europe at the moment. I was going to say the league, but I think it's even worse than that.
You see, this is the problem.
I thought we had problems, but they got some serious problems over there.
This is the problem, though, because people don't see that they were. And let's not get it wrong, right? Let's not get it twisted. We got a win. Well done, right? Yeah, we won. But I don't think people are seeing the picture of how actually terrible. No offense to Tottenham, how fucking shit they are. They were horrific. We let them control the game, and they did nothing.
Well, even to a point where we've got a Spurs fan, and I used to say to him, surely it's not that bad. Like, yeah.
And then he replied, yeah, it's that bad.
It's that bad.
You don't realise.
We was like, oh, you're just lying, you're just saying it. And then you play him and you go, fuck me, they're shit. Like, I genuinely think, even if we played our normal 4-2-3-1, we still would have beaten them.
Well, the thing is, if you watch that post-match interview, they speak to Højbjerg, and he genuinely says mid-interview, he's like, I've got to stop talking now before I say something. There was something major going on with that team, not just the team. Obviously, they didn't like Nuno for some reason. I don't know why. Gave him 7 games and he was gone. There was something that just was completely off, and he had to shut himself off because he said he's going to get himself in trouble. And he said this on live TV in the mid-interview. He's like, I've got to stop talking. There was something seriously wrong with that team. I mean, well done. Ronaldo, my God, can we just... I'm sorry, just all you... If anyone's listening, all you dickheads that said he's the problem, go fuck yourself. Yeah, I'm sorry. Anyone that said Ronaldo's the problem, he's the only reason we're in the position we're in.
We're bottom half of the table out of the Champions League if he's not.
His goal, for me, I mean, spoiler, obviously, I know there's going to be loads of shortlists for goal of the week, but his goal was absolutely sensational. His assist was sensational. He's sensational. Varane also solidified that defence, and we saw that last night, right? Varane makes everyone calm. He's chilled on the ball, really relaxed. Everyone starts to work. As soon as he goes off, discombobulation.
We're in the mud.
Absolutely in the mud. And him being out for a month, I think we're in absolute shit streak, to be really honest. We're going into next weekend, but I don't know.
Special mention for Cavani as well.
Yeah.
Cavani was impressive, really impressive. With the Varane being out for a month, I do wonder if that's bought Ollie time as well, you know, because he'll just look at it and go, well, what am I to do? Look at these fucking defenders. Honestly, listen, this game, you can... Was it this game that Armit said, oh, like, you guys can never be happy? Listen, we beat Spurs, the worst Spurs team I can remember. And I've been watching Premier League football since basically the inception of Premier League football, right? This is the worst Spurs team that I've seen. Harry Kane does not give a shit, and he's the only player other than Son in that team who's worth anything. Listen, we had to, like you say, we had to play with 7 defensive-minded players to get a result against Spurs.
What I don't understand as well is when we played Atlanta last night, they realised that we were doing the same thing. Even though Poggy was in midfield, but he might as well have not been there last night. They realised that everything was going through Bruno. Just sat a man on Bruno. That's all Tottenham had to do, and that just closed everything down. So it's done now.
Yeah, listen,
still couldn't realise that.
You cannot be proud of a team that beats another team with Eric Dyer in its lineup. It's shocking. And I cannot see how United fans are even thinking this was a good result. It was shit. The fact of the matter is, Spurs scored before we did.
Yeah. And if that had counted, we were done for.
They had a couple of chances before that as well. It was pretty even up until Ronaldo scored. And again, like you say, it's Ronaldo stepping up, makes the difference, him and Fernandes. But listen, I don't want to take anything away because the finish, the pass and the finish, absolutely incredible. That ball, literally, it was like pinball around the fucking Spurs box before it came out to Fernandes again for the second time. A better team clears that ball and it's gone. There's no chance. So, listen, don't get it twisted. Amir, if you're listening to this, fuck off. Don't get it twisted. We saw, listen, that result would have been good had last night gone better, right? The fact of the matter is, United literally went to Atalanta last night and reverted to the norm. And that is literally the best we're going to see of Manchester United under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And it's as simple as that. There's no progression. Nothing. It's 3 years next month he's been in charge. 3 years. And can you tell me that we've genuinely improved since that December when he took over?
No. This is the answer.
Mourinho won things, right, with a worse team. Mourinho won the Europa League. We got to the final. We choked it. Mourinho also got second in the league. Ollie's done the same, but that was... Last season was an anomaly with the whole COVID shit. I don't know how we did it. Pulled it out of our ass. But no, I don't see any way forward, especially after last night. The fact that like even the reactive substitutions, we were 2-1 down. He was making defensive subs. Yes, Ronaldo saved us, like literally his saviour, with a mad goal from 20 yards out of nowhere. But he brought on Matic when we were 2-1 down. He's defensive minded, thinking, what are we doing? We securing a 2-1 loss? I don't understand the mentality behind it, to be honest. So we are, as Tam keeps saying, we're in the mud. So
we are massively in the mud.
Yeah.
And now what's even worse,
Let's move on.
Even though you were saying, Rez, in the group chat, you don't want Conte. I want anyone but Ollie.
Well, this is the thing. I said this, and the thing is, I didn't think I wanted Conte. I still don't. I know obviously it's Tottenham now, but as soon as Tottenham announced that they were having him, I was jealous. I don't know if I was jealous because they've moved on, even though it was 7 games, or it was like maybe we could have done with him because he would have made an impact. So I don't know. It's a hard one.
Yeah.
And who do we go? If he does go, who do we go for? You know, it's now that situation. If, like Red said, you take a punt on Potter, you go for the Ajax manager, who again was very good for Ajax, but then at the same time that Ajax team were very young, willing to go all out 24/7.
Any manager like that will need time. But the fact of the matter is, United have given Solskjaer 3 years. 3 years. I can guarantee you that either of those, Ten Hag or Potter, in 3 years are much better than Ole Solskjaer.
100%.
Yeah, not in day. You don't even have to say anything about
I think
that.
Patrick Vieira would be better than Solskjaer. All right.
It looks like it at the moment.
Anyway.
Right, so we move on for that game. First game on the Sunday, Norwich versus Leeds. Who wants to have this one?
You go, mate.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Two pretty crap teams.
Yeah, basically, it was who's worse than the other, who's shitter than the other one, is basically what this game was, 100%. It was who's going to be shitter than the other. Rafinha, unbelievable solo goal.
Mm-hmm.
Norwich, to be fair to
in
him,
general, that whole game was pretty good.
Norwich answered them straight away with a quite a nice taken header.
Good header, yeah.
And then Leeds just stole it again. I actually thought Leeds were going to be a bit better than what they were during this game. I thought this was going to be the game that, because Norwich are so bad defensively, I thought, fuck me, it's surely about time now that they have some kind of good game, because they're playing against the worst defensive team in the league. You think surely... Yeah, I think probably because they've just been hammered so much recently that they've got nothing in the tank. But I thought they were going to be a lot better than what they were. I think they did enough to secure the win. I think they'd be livid if they didn't win this game. But yeah, that's my opinion of it. How about you guys?
Go on, Riz.
I mean, you've summed it up. Listen, both teams are pretty poor. Obviously, Norwich, there's a good chance they'll go down as the worst team in Premier League history. They can't buy a win. Leeds, that's their second win of the season, and they had to beat Norwich to get their second win of the season. So I think that says it all. And it was 2-1 as well. Both teams had chances. Yeah, just neither team's good. Neither team's in a good state at the moment. Leeds, obviously, loads of people. The fawning over Leeds last year was massively over the top, and we're seeing it this season. You need to be able to defend in the Premier League. I mean, they conceded a goal against a team that has scored 3 goals so far this season. So, yeah, enough said.
Guys, anything else more to add?
No, I just think it was the star individuals that helped Leeds through it. Rafinha, I thought the whole game, just every time he touched the ball, just looked good. And it took a cracking goal from him to score, and then also Rodrigo's goal was a banger as well. So, yeah,
not a bad keeper mistake.
You've covered everything pretty much.
Sounds right. Next game then on the second game on the Sunday, Villa West Ham. Who wants to go first? Case, I'll let you go first this one, mate.
Yeah, good game. West Ham again. Say it every single week. Villa really disappointing. They did have some good chances though. Ollie Watkins looked quite up for this game, but West Ham are just a better team. Take the chances. Declan Rice, mate, take a hat off to you. You run that midfield. He was pretty insane. He did everything.
Yeah.
And West Ham just over penetrated. It was just too much. Aston Villa couldn't hang on. Yeah, West Ham just looked really good, solid. They attack as a unit. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, they got a good midfield, but all round, they're a pretty well drilled machine. Going forwards, going back, they're a good team. Really, really good.
Ressa?
Yeah, all of that. I mean, West Ham are really good. Villa were in the game though. I think the sending off was really hard. Really hard. Yeah. And it was 2-1 at the time, I think. I don't think enough's been made of that because obviously it does change the game. But take nothing away from West Ham. They've been really impressive this season. Obviously, they find themselves in 4th place, which is mental. Really good. And yeah, Declan Rice is just something else. It's an interesting question. A friend of me, my mate, he's a West Ham fan. He sent me a photo last week, basically saying if
I know what you're
if
going to
David
say.
Moyes,
Yeah, I had
if
it as
David
well.
Moyes hadn't been a Man United manager, you'd be saying now that David Moyes should be Man United's manager. Now, there's no saying that he'd do okay this time round, right? It's the stature of the club. Maybe it's just too big for him. Whatever. We'll never know because he won't get that opportunity again. But yeah, West Ham really impressive. Really, really impressive. I don't think they'll stay top four. But if they keep hold of Declan Rice in the summer, which is going to be tough, really tough, they could really build something there. They've got a fantastic stadium. There's no reason they can't push on from there. They're a big club, West Ham. They've got a solid fan base, huge fan base, quite militant fan base as well. Yeah, I think you can't help but be impressed by them. I'm surprised. I didn't think they'd do as well. See, they had a really good season last season. Obviously, they went through a bit of a dip, which cost them in the end. But they're still in the Europa League, unlike Spurs in a fucking conference. How that was a red card. Unlike the Laporte one for City, I cannot see how that was a red card.
It's quite a difficult one.
The whole last man thing is just, Again, we're going to be in the same situation where we can't decide. It's unclear whether it should or shouldn't. I mean, obviously the rules, if they're both red cards, then the rules state that they said no one else could have made a covering challenge, so he's last man. But no, it's a difficult one. I mean, Moyes, I think maybe Moyes would have been good for us, but I think when we got Moyes, he just took the wrong approach, didn't he? By trying to just do everything his way, binning off all the staff. He just had a wrong approach initially, but I mean, he definitely can manage and run a team well, can't he? With seeing at West Ham now, so
yeah. If you're going to take a punt on him, you might as well take a punt on someone like Potter rather than that.
Yeah.
When you know he's already had his go and fucked up the first time.
Yeah.
But no, West Ham look good. To be fair, I'm not much really more I can add. Proper centre midfielders playing for him, and know how to play the position. And yeah, just ended up running right. So yeah, we'll move. That does the Sunday games. The last one was the Monday night kickoff, wasn't it? Wolves versus Wolves Everton.
Yeah. Wolves
Everton. Everton giving Spurs a run for the worst team in the league. I
don't know what happened.
Every time I watch it, they always make mistakes. It's rough.
No, they do. Defensively, they're looking really shocking in a minute, but they look quite good early on. And I don't know, the last two games they've just gone to pieces. I don't really quite understand what's going on. They're making defensive mistakes. There's a lot of teams that, for some reason, defensive shambles this year, and it's not like everyone's just got a better attack. I don't understand what's happened.
Missing that. Who's the centre midfielder normally for them?
Well, they've got Alan and Doucouré.
They're missing Doucouré.
Yeah.
He wasn't even on the bench.
Yeah, so I mean, he would solidify defensively, but he's also really good going forward. So they'll always leave gaps. I just don't know. They just looked a bit all over the place. Wolves, even though the stats don't say it, Wolves were the better team in this game. I think they're right with that as well. Win.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Everton's goal was really, really scrappy in general. It was quite I think it was just like double deflection, which then bounced to Iwobi to just pat into the back of the net. But Wolves had quite a few chances.
Everton are terrible.
Yeah.
Everton are awful. And this weekend.
Go on.
Oh, sorry, guys. You hear me?
Yeah, go on.
I was just saying, Everton are awful at the moment. Terrible team. And this weekend, I'm pretty sure they've got Spurs.
They have, yeah.
Spurs are going to be feasting.
Norwich Leeds V2.
A friend of mine, he said it would have been interesting had these results been moved around. So the weekend just gone, instead of Spurs and United playing, United had City and Spurs had Everton, because Spurs will probably beat Everton. United most likely lose to City, and then would have already then have been sacked, and Nuno would be the one who's safe. It's interesting.
No, see, Tottenham, we've allowed Tottenham to sack Nuno because we're going for Nuno, you see. Just, yeah.
Ollie beats Tottenham playing Conte-style football. So Conte signs for Spurs, so he can't take his job. Oh, God. That's one. Honourable mention for Jimenez, though. Even though I know he was past the ball. What a little scoop. Jeez.
Little dink, you know, really good.
Old-style Messi scoop, that was.
No, it's not going too far yet.
I mean, obviously he's not Messi, for fuck's sake, mate. But it just reminded me whenever Messi went through on goal, he was always thinking that goalkeeper. Goalkeeper knew it was coming as well, still couldn't stop it.
Yeah.
Oh, that does it for this week's game, so I think. Unless there's anything else you'd like to add, Rez, on the Wolves game?
His connection.
Yeah, I think it's connection based. Yeah, I think it's connection what we're struggling. We'll move on to team of the week. Hopefully his connection will pick up. And unless he's sitting there and does the usual thing that I normally do when we're playing Call of Duty and goes, shit, I'm on mute.
No, it's definitely not that. But yeah, no,
I'm on mute.
I knew it. Alright, so that does...
there's nothing to add. Yeah.
Nothing to add. Sound then. So we'll move to the team of the week. I think we're going to have all the same goalkeeper.
I would hope so.
Ramsdale.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I thought Crystal Palace's goalkeeper could get a little mention though.
Yeah, or Mendy. I mean, again, Newcastle didn't do a lot, but I think Mendy's an unbelievable goalkeeper. How the fuck did they find him?
Yeah, I don't
He was
know.
off the streets, wasn't he? So he was like, he was close to being homeless at one point, jobless, homeless, and they picked him up.
Amazing.
In
absolutely
France.
unbelievable.
In France, and then that's it. Turns out he's Chelsea's goalkeeper, and well, he's bloody unreal. Good on him.
So back four or back three, whoever's got it. Let's go first.
I've gone for Reece James, right back, unbelievable. Ben Johnson, the West Ham kid who scored. He looked really good, to be fair. Positive player, both feet. Gabriel and Rafa Varane. Gabriel from Arsenal. Yes, I did it, mate. Both start.
I've gone Lamptey, Varane, Kilman, and Reece James.
How did he play?
Lamptey played full game, mate. Yeah.
Did he?
She said
he played well.
he tore Robertson a new arsehole, mate, for 90 minutes. It was fucking unbelievable to see. Loved it.
I've gone James Varane. I don't know how to. Gueye? Palace, centre back.
Let's have a look.
And then I had to put a West Ham player in there, and the only position I had free was left back, so I put Cresswell.
Really?
Team of the week playing
Just because.
25 minutes.
Came on for 1 minute. He had an unbelievable game. Fucking brilliant. He was. Got a 10 rating. Sound? That's the defence. What formations do you guys go for? 4-4-2?
Yeah, 4-4-2.
Fuck
I thought that was the use.
That is the usual, but Tam moaned at me for one of my right-sided players, so I've gone 4-3-3.
To be fair, I mean, I think we've all taken some liberties with positions over the weeks. So
I mean, he was playing a centre mid at right mid. It was like
he's not a centre
it was like
mid,
he was
though,
building
yeah.
his FIFA Ultimate Team. He was.
Jesus.
He's playing strikers at CDM just to get him in for the chem.
Well, I'm going to have to go 4-3-3 then, all right? 4-3-3 is my formation then. Jesus. Okay.
Go on then, what's your midfield, guys?
My midfield is Rice, Declan Rice, Gallagher from Palace, and Wepu, because I wasn't allowed him on the right wing.
Sounds.
Joke.
I've gone Declan Rice, Gallagher, and I've gone for Havertz for Chelsea.
Yeah?
Oh.
I thought he played really well for him at the weekend. Even though he didn't get on the score sheet, I thought he actually had a really, really good game from watching the highlights. Everything went through him.
Okay.
Yeah, Reza?
I've gone Zaha, Rice, Gallagher, Smith Rowe. And again, I know I've taken some liberties here, but with Smith Rowe's position, but yeah.
I mean, so I'm pretty sure Havertz played up top or on the wing for Chelsea, so Tan's taking liberties
He does,
anyway.
he plays up top, yeah.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So, it's no, you do you, Tan, mate, you do.
Fine. That's fine. Well, then, Gage.
Smith Rowe's a good mention.
Yeah, no, he is definitely.
Yeah.
I've gone United heavy, mate, for my front. I've gone Cavani, Ron, and Zaha. And what? Ronaldo has to get the mention because he's literally our Lord Saviour, and Cavani is like a Lacazette, right? They kill themselves for the team. They're a workhorse, and he's partially the reason why we win the ball back so often and get the chances to break. So, and Zaha, different gravy on his game.
I went Bowen, Ronaldo, Zaha.
Nice.
Reza?
Liz?
So I went Cavani.
Yeah.
Because out of the two,
Hang on a minute.
he was the better player.
Hang on a minute. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Hang on. Are you trying to say? You're trying to say what I think you're trying to say?
Yeah, Ronaldo's not my second. Now, you'll probably laugh at me for this.
Where's
but
the kick button on Discord?
Yeah, get rid of him, Tan.
I've gone Chris Wood.
Chris Wood!
Yeah.
All right for Burnley, but over Ron.
It's okay, it's
Mate,
fun.
I'll tell you what, like, he scored the goal that kick-started Burnley's first win of the season. Well taken goal. Thought he played well overall. And I thought that Burnley deserved a player in it. And again, that's where I could find a player position.
Red should have put a disclaimer, really. The only reason he's not putting Ron is because he's saved Ollie's job 3 times in a row.
That's the reason why, innit? He's like, fucking had enough of this cunt. I want Ollie to go. Does it every week.
Every week he's saving him.
Right, that does our team of the weeks. I think it's
Goal of the week.
I think it's actually quite nice just before we go on goal of the week for team of the week. I think it's quite nice. It was quite a mix around the teams rather than normally it's just like 4 from this team, 3 from this team, 3 from that team. It's like there's actually quite a mix of teams in there.
It's a good weekend for football generally, I think.
Yeah. Sound? Right, so goal of the week. I mean, I got about 6 I could read through that I thought were unbelievable.
One. Just the one. The one.
It's Ron's, isn't it? Of course it is, mate. It's going to be D1 is Ron's. But honourable mention, Reece James. First one. Left foot, top bins.
Yeah, banging left foot, Che Adams.
The Brentford guy. I don't know who. I can't pronounce Brentford's guy name. I'm not going to butcher it. Godos, that's it. I thought that was a good goal. Mwepu, good goal. Very good goal.
Great goal. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's always going to be Ron.
The technique from Ron, mate. I'm sorry.
Lloris.
I was saying Lloris. Lloris went in at half time and he came out and said that he had to go back and look at like VOD video of the goal because he said he don't know how he got it past him from that angle and he said it was unbelievable. So CR7 was the GOAT. The goal was the GOAT. Are you? Riz?
Yeah.
Chris Wood.
I've gone. Yeah. No, Ronaldo. Godos and Mwepu were close. But it's just, listen, honestly, I think there's only one player who could have scored that goal in the Premier League, and we've got him.
Yeah.
Like that, the effortlessness. It was just so impressive. It's a hard technique, right? And
very, very hard.
From that angle, to get it, there's only literally one place that ball can go to score the goal without hitting it with a ridiculous amount of power. And he did it. And just unbelievable. Absolutely incredible. The pass deserves a mention. Also, the fact that when you watch the goal back, he keeps his eye on the ball. And even though the Spurs defender jumps up and tries to head it, obviously he only narrowly misses it. At no point does Ronaldo, there's no point does he go, oh shit, he's going to get it, I'll pull out. No. He's like, this guy's missing it, I'm scoring this goal.
This is the same
Unbelievable.
guy that scored a shoulder and like a volley in the dark. Have you ever seen it?
I have,
But
yeah, tested to the limit.
He's just no, he's insane. He's out of this world, and he is literally our saviour at the moment. Well, he's Ollie's saviour, but he's the only one that's keeping us fans. Oh, I don't even know if it's smiling, but smiling, I suppose. So yeah, but no, that's goal of the week. So
Smiling but crying behind it.
cool. Yeah, no, let's get on, mate.
Let's get on. Nice. We'll get on to finish the podcast off because I know Reza's got to get back to work. Predictions for this week. I'll read them off as games are happening. Southampton Villa.
2-1 Villa. 2-1 Southampton, not Villa. 2-1 Southampton.
Reza?
1-0 Southampton.
I've gone 1-0 Southampton as well.
Nice.
United City. I've gone 3-1 City.
I mean,
Guys?
I had 4-0 City, but I've decided, you know what, it's still draw. Don't.
I'd love to live in your world, mate. It must be brilliant. I bet you believe in unicorns a lot, don't you?
Everything.
Reza?
3-1 United.
3-1 United.
We're fully saving his job now.
Right, listen, before you start laughing at me.
Reza's like the tactical
Ollie
genius in the last 2 games. He's got it, mate. He's got it in the bag.
No, Ollie has Pep's number though. City's fullbacks push up so high up the pitch, he won't play 5 at the back against City because he needs to have Rashford and Greenwood on the pitch to push high up on the wings. Because that's how we've always beaten them. You look at the past few games, we beat them that way. It's literally long balls pinged into channels because their fullback, cannot get back. I think we'll win again. As much as it pains me, I do think we're going to win.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Each to their own. Brentford versus Norwich.
2-0 Brentford.
Yeah, easy pickings. I'll go same 2-0 Brentford.
On 1-0 Norwich.
Right, get out the call.
No.
I
I just got a feeling.
Mate, you and Rez, you're both on something tonight. What's going on?
It's their week, mate. It's their
To be
week.
fair, they've got to win at some point, right?
They don't like playing against Norwich either. From recent, from the Championship, they haven't beaten them for the last 4 years in the Championship either.
I don't know what's going on.
And they've been better than them.
I've got someone who thinks Wood is better than fucking Ward is better than Ronaldo, and now I've got another guy saying that Norwich could do better. Oh Jesus Christ!
And we've got another guy here saying that United are going to draw a City. Jesus, mate.
The other one's ever going to win.
We're in the mud.
Go on then.
We're in the mud. Chelsea Burnley.
Burnley. I've gone 3-0 Chelsea. Easy dub. Then again, I think Burnley could. No, 3-0 Chelsea.
I've gone 3-1 Chelsea. Reza?
2-1 Chelsea.
You might hit a stride, you never know.
Palace versus Wolves.
Oh, this is going to be a good game.
I think it'll be a good game. I've gone 1-1 draw, but I think Palace could take it, to be fair, after the way they performed at 1-1.
2-1 Palace, I've gone.
I was going to say draw. I don't know the score. I'll go. I want to go 1-1, but you've taken it. I'll go 0-0. Stalemate. I can't see it, but fuck it. Let's go.
Brighton versus Newcastle.
2-0 Brighton.
2-0 Brighton as well, I've got. I know you said that obviously Newcastle might give Brighton a
I'm going Newcastle, mate. Newcastle always do Brighton. I'm 2-1 Newcastle. I think they've got their number, like you're saying about
Newcastle's caretaker that are like the worst Newcastle we ever see. Good on you, mate.
They won't be laughing on Saturday evening, will you? Arsenal Watford.
2-1 Arsenal.
That's what I've got as well. Reza?
Yeah, 1-0 Arsenal.
Everton Spurs.
3-1. I can't believe I'm giving Tottenham a win, but 3-1 to Tottenham.
Reza?
I think yeah.
2-0 Spurs.
I've gone 2-1. I think Everton will get a goal at home. Leeds versus Leicester.
2-2 draw. I don't know. No, 2-2 draw. Go on. Both shambles at the back.
I've gone 2-1 Leicester. Reza?
1-1 draw.
And then we finish it with the last one before the international break, which is West Ham Liverpool.
Honestly, I think people think I've gone 2-1 Liverpool.
Wow.
Dan?
I've gone 1-0 West Ham.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think they're going to do them. I think they'll take great sense in what Brighton did the weekend just gone. I think they'll take that into their game, and yeah, I think they'll do.
Antonio's going to bully Van Dijk. Love to see it.
Reza?
Where are you, Rez?
I'm going 2-1 West Ham.
Jeez. Nice.
Right, that does all the
2
games
West
then.
Ham dubs and 1 Liverpool. Mad.
I mean, I suppose you're a Liverpool fan at heart, aren't you? Really? So
Absolutely.
might as well follow suit. Right, so to let Rez get back to work, I think we should finish the podcast off here, shouldn't we?
Yeah, let's wrap up, mate.
Damn. So that does it for this week's episode of the Box2Box podcast. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to subscribe and like our YouTube channel, also comment down below in the video if there's anything you disagree or agree with in this episode. I'm sure Gase will have the socials up on the screen as he always does. Please like and follow all our socials. If you'd like to be in the podcast at any point, just reach out to us. Comments below in the YouTube video or by any of our socials, or message either one of the three of us directly, and we'll get you on. Thank you very much for listening, guys, and we'll speak to you next time.
Thanks so much. Take care.
Bye bye.
Cheers.